So I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the mission is.
Sit down on the
You got an open one out there?
So, yeah, it's just, I've been dealing with nonprofits for a very, very long time. And I just go in God's time. When they suddenly decide they're ready, then you do it. And right now we're so busy right now. I'm sitting here going, I'm going to be up until 4 this morning. How's the plugin doing?
Good.
Excellent.
Making progress. Yeah, we've got over 500 downloads now.
Congratulations.
Getting close to 600.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
That's
and
great.
we got our second 5-star review, so that's good.
Hey, I tell you what, just getting into WP Engine is like, that's worth 5 stars right there, because they don't take everybody.
Right.
You would get a meal.
They don't.
Education and a meal.
You know, what you need to do now is get a review out of WP when you get it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Figure out how to do that.
I think you just write them.
Yeah.
You just write them. We've been members for so long that they still only charge us $19 a month. It's like, you tell, it's like when you sign up for something like a really long time ago and they just keep renewing you, and you look at, you suggest one of your clients beyond that, and you go,
Hey guys, we're going to
wow,
start
that's what
in
they're
2
charging
minutes.
now?
So if you haven't gotten something to eat, let's go ahead and get something started. Because I'm from Louisiana, and this is really cold.
Yeah.
So we're going to get started after everybody gets something to eat.
That's my business partner. He's from Louisiana.
Yeah,
We went to a restaurant and someone yelled, "Ass."
There we go.
What other kind of gumbo is it? That's like the start with when you make chicken for me.
Yeah, I learned a lot in Jefferson County. All right. All right. Well, first of all, thank you all. And Nick, do you have it started, or are we just going to start over?
No, we're good.
Okay. So, thank you very much for coming to our very first Commerce meeting of 2018. And we are really excited because we have this beautiful facility. And as you know, we were homeless for 7 months in 2017 because we simply could not find a good.
These are really trying to solve this now, so it's starting to explode, and there aren't enough people who are trained up in it. So this is a space to learn from like-minded people, to hear great speakers like we're going to have tonight.
And our dear friends at Capital Factory approached us and they offered us this space. And we are amazingly grateful. They've reached out.
Well, Josh, I'm lucky to you. And have fun, too. So, where does that leave us? That leaves us with
The Austin WordPress meetup. They're hosting our intermediate class, and they're also hosting our WooCommerce class, so we're very grateful. And for those who don't know anything about Cat Factory, they have a co-space upstairs on the 18th floor, and I guess now it's down to the 17th and now the 16th. Yeah, it just.
agenda items. So we have, so I'm Robin Kriegelstein. I'm founder of Live Neuron Labs. We're one of the only 2 consulting firms that consults on this.
Bigger, but it's great for co-space, and it's also great for those of you who are looking to do a startup. They have mentors. They have a lot of other skills. A lot
Worked with lots of cool places. I won't get into that. I would like to acknowledge Capital Factory, who gives us this beautiful space. They're live casting for us.
Started our business at co-space, so we're very grateful. The other thing we're very grateful for is we actually have our first sponsor for food.
So it'll be recorded. You can watch it later on. We should have the link momentarily. We're gonna post it to the meetup. Okay, so
For the meetup, Liquid Web has offered to get us pizza and drinks for every meeting this year. and they wanted to introduce.
Where you RSVP'd, there's a thread for this event. Alan, who I'd also like to acknowledge as being amazing in helping organize this for quite a while.
Their new services, because Liquid Web is now focusing specifically on hosting new commerce sites, and they're offering additional skills and stuff. Who
also organizes, we have a small group that's by application that Alan manages, and let's see hands of people who are in it right now. There's a couple of people.
Write some of that up, so for those of you who are interested.
And so if you want to tweet out your thank yous
To
to Liquid Web, so they'll keep giving us pizza.
And interestingly enough, it was from a.
Okay. Yes, really, really cool people. So if you want to, those are good people to talk to afterwards. So he's going to post it there on the meetup site for this event.
Our dear friend Chris Lemma, who is now working with them, and so he remembered his buddies in Austin and offered to reach back and advise them. Tonight.
Link, and you can share that, tweet it out, send it to your best friend, your mom, whoever. And next we're going to do flash rounds. So
our friend Malcolm is going to give us a really great presentation based on a case study. Because one of the things that when we interview people,
everybody gets, who would like, you can have 30 seconds to share if you're looking for some, if you have jobs to offer, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for volunteers.
Commerce to study. What do you want us to give you? And there was a mix between, you need to understand the business aspect of putting up.
For like-minded people you want to chat about something with, now's a good time to do that. I know there's people looking for jobs who would like 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
A WooCommerce site and running it and making money. And we also need some technical stuff. So this is the first of our case studies, and I'd like to welcome Malcolm. I'm very grateful.
You look like, no? Hey. All right, there you go. You look like you might be up to something.
Hey guys, I'm Chinook, and I am.
So first, thanks for coming out. You know, there's tons of other things you guys could be spending your evening doing. I appreciate you listening.
Actually, in the middle of the job hunt process, I'm looking for a UX researcher position. So if any of you guys know there is a UX researcher position out there, please let me know. Thank you.
My business partner, Martin, and I own a company named Element LMS, and we sell WordPress solutions centered around the Sensei plugin.
So we got a very wise comment from the audience that we don't need music anymore because my voice is musical.
LMS plugin, so it will transform the standard WordPress stack into a basic learning management. Let me back up.
Who else would like a minute in front of the crowd? And usually there's so many. No? All right. I waited.
The case study that we're going to talk about is a project that we won, the big state agency here. And during
I'm Bruce. I've got a background in user experience design, and so I'm looking at how to take what I've been learning in the world of Agile.
the formation of our company, Marty and I were trying to figure out, okay, who are we going to sell to, right? So you got to figure out, what do we want to do? We want to build websites? Do we want to build software systems?
Find sprints, action design, and even improv, and help people make better products that solve problems in a better way.
Excellent.
We're going to be a marketing person. What are we going to do? How are we going to help people? Together, he and I have
All done? Okay, now it's our turn. This is all volunteer. It takes a lot of work. So we would love if anybody here was
and weaknesses, and we really complement each other. His technical strength is around the implementation of what are called learning management systems. Anybody here not familiar with learning management? Never heard of that before? Everybody has heard of it? Not heard of it? Okay. So learning management systems If you've ever taken an online training course,
and helping out, interested in speaking, interested in, maybe your company would be interested in sponsoring. We're in front of a lot of really forward-thinking people in design and other fields. So think about it. If you're interested, please sign up on the form that I'm about to tell you about.
you've used a learning management system. So it's software specifically designed with the delivery, management, and tracking of.
Capital Factory asks us that we have everybody check in so that they know who all has been here, and it's also helpful for us to keep track of what kinds of interests.
Content, and that can be both online or offline. So, without going into too much detail, there's a couple of big open source projects.
Everybody could take a moment to go, I'm going to pause while we do that, to go to actiondesign.com.
And WordPress, Automatic specifically, has a plugin that allows you to transform WordPress into basic learning management system. We've decided to focus our business around the professional certification and recertification component. So there's a number of nonprofits and state agents.
And there will be a link in the top right corner, I believe. There's a link called Event Sign-In. So if you wouldn't mind clicking.
Staff to be trained on certain things and then retrained a year later and recertified a year later. So we look for customers that are looking to build those types of systems or use one of those types of systems. And because of the flexibility associated with development on WordPress, we're able to really be price competitive.
You see it? I do not see it.
Are you sure it's actiondesign.com?
It's actiondesign.atx.com. Thank you. See, I'm a child. I haven't grown up yet. I can't remember stuff.
When I was thinking about putting this deck together, the idea of, how do you manage large projects?
They're not secure.
Yeah, I'm not able to get on there.
Yep. Connection's not private.
Oh, so we're being blocked by the Wi-Fi?
No, I'm on LT.
Well, this is a
Large projects, all of that, how do you basically get your business bigger, to have these bigger projects? There's about 50 steps.
site you're having is not there. Action design.
actiondesign.atx.com.
Yes, says the connection is not private.
Yep, even after that.
And all of this, and I could have spent 20 minutes or an hour, or whatever we're going to be spending time on. I was hoping to keep this in about 20 or 25 minutes, if that's okay to everybody. Because any one of these slides, we could do a deep dive on it. So what I tried to do was think about, there's really at least two aspects to this case study that I thought we want to talk about.
I was thinking that's not of your URL.
Technology. All right. Well,
Is how do we sell the deal? Okay, I'm going to spend just a few minutes talking about that. The other aspect of it is how do we deliver it? Because we are a two-man shop.
let's get on with the show then.
Ah,
Thanks for trying.
there is an answer. There is an answer.
There we go.
Take the S out of the HTTPS that it's stuck in there for you.
Okay. Does that make sense? So say it all the way out so they can get it.
HTTP:// leave the.
Out of you guys here, how many of you own the business? And you are either a sole proprietor or an LLC, member?
And then actiondesign.atx.com.
Okay.
If you Google it, the Google link will take you there.
Google it.
Okay. So what Marty and I did, we own the majority of our company. We decided that what we wanted to do was go after universities, government agencies. We picked basically a niche of customers that we were hoping were looking for some type of specialized use of their learning management system.
See this collective intelligence and we haven't figured it out.
So where do you want us to click?
Okay, if you get there, then there should be a menu. And on the menu at the bottom it says,
And that we could help them. And we stumbled upon an RFP. Anybody familiar with what RFP means and all that? So, okay, so we ended up,
I know.
submitting our proposal, and we won this RFP. And thus began our company of some small substance by winning that RFP.
So you knew that if we didn't do it now, we wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
To deliver that. And that is a whole other component to being successful, right? It's great if you get the customer to say yes and get them to sign a contract. But then if
Are you nudging us?
Just straight up forcing you. The ultimate nudge. You're all set?
Yes.
if you don't deliver, guess what? Sometimes they don't pay you, and you spend a bunch of time selling and trying to get the work done. So getting into the actual case study, we're not going to talk a lot about code necessarily. We're going to talk more about the business process around it, because I don't think that we won this business because necessarily we.
Who all was able to do it?
I did it.
Okay. And who's so afraid of the MSA they haven't done it and they're not going to do it no matter how much I ask? All right.
Build on an open source, PHP based, MySQL stack that the client cared about. They didn't care about any of that. They had a specific problem.
Okay. So tonight we have with us Rajesh. Rajesh is amazing. He's so amazing. I tried to hire him.
That they wanted solved. And I believe that we listened better by presenting to them a solution that fits specifically their needs. And
He's against a double PhD from MIT, another PhD, and he still turned me down. But he thought about it, so I appreciate that. No, we're going to figure out something to work with together anyway at some point. But the reason I want Rajesh so bad is that he has been working.
today we also delivered that solution. So, so the title of today's presentation was How to Sell and Deliver a Large Work.
With in the space of designing for behavior change for a very, very long time, in some of the seminal companies doing that. And he's worked with Dr. Steve Wendell.
We've got the actual case study on our website, so if you haven't been to our website, feel free to go there. There's a lot more details about the specific project, but this is really more about business process in terms of what we're going to talk about in terms of being able to have.
Who has written the book Designing for Behavior Change. A great guy, a great book, and someone who's been digging into this for quite a long time.
Selling process, a selling methodology, a methodology to deliver your project. That's what these customers, these larger customers, are going to ask you about, because they want to feel comfortable.
Initially, they worked together first at Hello Wallet, right? And so Hello Wallet was I'll let him tell you about it, but a place that's well known for.
Right? If they're going to spend $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, they want to make sure that this isn't your first time to try and solve this problem.
And worked on applying behavioral economics and behavioral science to help people make better financial choices. And before that, Rajesh was at O-Power, which is really famous for its use of behavioral economics and behavioral science to get people to save more on energy. So a lot of amazing experience. So you guys should bug him.
If you want to know, well, tell me about the 10 or 20 or 50 other projects that you've done of it doesn't necessarily have to be a similar magnitude, but they want to know that even.
But he's going to drip nuggets of wisdom on us now. In particular, he's going to share with us Steve Wendell's Create Action model, which
and the processes that you're using are going to be similar to the scope of what they're trying to get done. You may need to call in 5 times the people that you had before, but the method is going to be the same. The process is going to be the same. So everybody have this URL for the
there are only a few. So remember, there's a lot of stuff, and behavioral science is crazy deep. And the trick is, how do we pull that stuff out and make it really practical?
Screen up here. So this is our company website, lms.com, and then we have the navigation that will take you to our case studies. And then there's one
practical and actionable within real product teams or anybody who's working on a real world solutions projects, trying to get stuff done. And so the Create Action
is for the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. That's the case study that we're going to be talking about today. I have this quote up here. Anybody know who Edwards?
Really 2, 3 models, 4 if you count mine, which is the best one, but I won't say that. So Rajesh's going to enlighten us with that. So thank you. Big round of applause. Okay.
Some people do. A couple of process nerds here. So this is part of the, from a management perspective, if you ever...
Now applause for him. I appreciate it.
Oh, Robin, I might use it just
manage people or spend time having to coordinate contractors. In my opinion, my professional opinion, I have to be reminded of this quote, because this is what I think through whenever I see problems arising. More oftentimes than not, it was a training issue. It was a process issue. It was not necessarily some...
Can you guys hear me okay in the back? Okay. Well, Robin, thank you for the great...
breaking something. It's that it wasn't explained to them in a way. What they're doing is connected to 3 other things, and so they need to really be careful about this one part of what they're
Nice introduction. I'm sure you overstated me and you set a very high bar for me when I need to live up to here tonight. Yeah, I'm Rajesh, and here's what I was hoping to do today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about sort of my journey that brought...
doing. And that's an education problem, which is all on management. So I would suggest that what we're going to be talking about today in terms of process is that understanding business processes and
Today is stand in front of you talking about sort of this Create framework in behavioral design. I'm going to tell you a little bit of story about my first sort of exposure to the Create framework at Hello Wallet, and then I'm going to provide what I'll call sort of the lecture section, right? I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the high-level kind of concept of Create. We're going to go through each of the steps, and it's basically a funnel. And then I
help you grow your business is paramount. All right. So these are some stats.
We brought a little worksheet, and we'll break out into small groups for maybe 20 minutes or so, and you guys can try to apply the Create framework to whatever it is you're working on, and then we'll spend maybe 10 minutes.
I'll ask you to talk a little bit about this. So Marty took the technical lead for implementing our solution for this case study. And I wanted to have a slide that just showed a little bit about the results of the solution that we've implemented. So we launched it, I think, last January.
Kind of what you came up with, and then I'll leave it open at the end for just questions, if that sounds good. So yeah, a little bit more about me. Like many of you, I went to UT.
Up and running for about a year. If you haven't already gone to the website and read about the solution, let me give you, I might even have a slide about this.
And minored in business, and after college I worked for Accenture down here in Austin for about 5 years, and I started out pretty technical as a software engineer, but soon found myself very interested in...
I do have a slide, but let me just summarize it real quick. Texas Parks and Wildlife gets
why our government clients were asking us for what they were asking us for, and switched into a business analyst role, which was kind of my first step into the world of product management, which is sort of the career path I've taken since then. And so, really loved working at Accenture, but in the meantime, my dad had started his own company, and I wasn't sure that consulting was the right career path for me forever. And so I went to Michigan.
A large chunk of their budget from the federal government. Where they get that from is through the coordination efforts that.
And I focused on entrepreneurship and consumer marketing. And I had a few experiences up there in Ann Arbor. One of them was just cold. So if you think about what we had last week.
Their outreach education team does managing 3,000 volunteer instructors around the state of Texas. Those volunteer instructors are delivering hunter and boater safety training courses. And so, Marty, if I get any of this wrong, just correct me. Or throw something soft.
You can imagine that for like 4 months. Another one was actually, I worked at General Mills in their Consumer Insights group, learned a lot about how the CPG industry is thinking about primary research and talking to people and understanding what drives their.
And so the coordination of these volunteers before we implemented the software was all done through pencil and paper. File folders, dry erase boards.
And I ended up coming back to the technology world though, so I actually started my own company after graduation through an accelerator program. And it was
all of the manual tools that you can imagine. So now they have 3,000 individuals who are trying to schedule and promote. They have a voter safety
Facebook app that lets you compare your energy usage to your friends, and so I spent about 1.5 years trying to sell that to utilities, which is really hard to do as a startup. And then I tried to sell it to home energy professionals, the folks who might be installing like attic insulation or new air conditioners in your house. And then I got engaged, and I said I should probably get a real job now. And so I joined OPower at that point.
That's going to be at Austin High School cafeteria in 3 weeks. Please, if you want to take the voter safety training class, come to my class.
And at that point, I had actually been following OPower for a couple years because I was doing something very similar. So I moved to DC and spent about 1.5 years at OPower working on some of their internal operations.
And kids would sign up, and oftentimes it was, some coach or whoever it was that was doing this volunteer work. There's paperwork that the volunteer has to turn in to the state, to our customer, who ended up being our customer, to make sure that their class got put on a web page, and all of this is manual, so believe me, none of this.
And for those of you who don't know, so Robin kind of referenced this, but OPower is a startup that was basically founded on a behavioral science project or experiment.
Tracked anywhere other than some custom database that the state agency was keeping track of, and I think they had an access front end into.
And what Dr. Cialdini found was that he put a bunch of kind of flyers on people's doors. One of them said, "Hey, you should use less energy at home because you'll save money."
Some Oracle database that they were tracking all of these manual records. So the instructors, first of all, so you have 3,000 people turning in at least
one said, "You should use less energy at home because it's good for the environment." And then the third one said, "You should use less energy at home because everyone around you is using way less than you are." And the one that won, perhaps not surprisingly, if you know the behavioral science behind normative comparisons, was the neighbor comparison.
To maybe up to 4 or 5 events, we'll call them events, sessions of this training class. And so